Fellas, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know what this Imbaru engine is eventually going to lead to. What I will say is that this is one of the trippiest rooms Bungie has ever given us, and it only seems to get trippier each week. Now, last week, we had the Bladed Path quest, step 33, which unlocked the Imbaru engine via a minor arcana card called a Gift of Cunning. Now, you're guaranteed to get this upon completion of the previous Altar of Summoning quest steps, but this card reads, an incantation to unveil the flow of tribute coursing through the Altars of Summoning. Now, the Imbaru engine lies directly above the Altars of Summoning, and you can access it here via the Helm. Now, this area is not an activity per se, and it's not match-made, but you can either go there alone or go in there with a 3-man fire team. Now, if you want to just skip to this week, feel free to skip to this timestamp on the screen. However, we're going to also touch on the Imbaru engine week 1 steps, as this does build on each other. Now, last week, it started with us revealing the path. Just follow the diamond and activate the elevators up to Imbaru's engine. You then begin the test by interacting with the Hive ritual at the center of the Imbaru engine. Now, this starts the test of cunning. This test requires you to open a handful of chests marked with the Imbaru-like symbol, which is this one right here. Now, after you open the first chest, you'll need to open 2 more Imbaru chests higher up in the room at the diamond. Now, you'll know the chest is the correct one when the symbol is either next to the chest or near it, or points in the direction of the chest. You can actually see it right here, guys. Literally an arrow pointing to the chest. So even though it may be above that chest, look to where it's pointing. Now, after opening those, you'll then have to open 3 more, which are hidden within the room. Now, it's easy to tell if you open the right chest or not, guys, as when opening the correct one, you'll get a notification at the bottom left hand of your screen that says you display your cunning. However, when you open the wrong one, it states that you strengthen Savathun's Imbaru, which actually results in you dying. Now, don't worry about it, guys. If you mess up and you open literally every single chest until you hit the right ones, you're not gonna mess this up. But upon successfully doing this room, you'll see the text at the bottom left in your screen state you have conjured cunning, which will simply just give you some rep and a seasonal weapon. Now, this week, things actually changed a bit. Not only did we get a new story, as well as the 3rd and final attunement, this week also brought with it a new opaque card that you can grab during Savathun's Spire. Now, this card location is important because you actually need this for the Imbaru engine room, but you actually get this card from Savathun's Spire. It's at this location on the screen in front of you, and it's hidden beside the rightmost portal in the room right before the final boss area. It doesn't matter whether or not you're doing the base or legend version of Savathun's Spire, guys. You'll still be able to get the card. Now, once at the Lectern of Divination, this card will reveal itself to be the next test in Imbaru's engine, that being the Gift of Strength. Next, you'll load into the Imbaru engine. Now, this is where there's some confusion. There's some people saying that they didn't actually have to do the chest portion to open this door in front of you. We simply came in and immediately interacted with the Hive ritual, did the chest like we normally did before moving on to the next area. What I do know for certain is that you cannot open that door unless you have activated the Gift of Strength. With that being said, Jared actually said that he was able to go right into the next room without doing those chests. Now, when you go through this door, you want to turn left and make your way up the hallway, dodge the spike traps, and then go up to the elevator to reach the next part of the engine. Now, there will be a portal up here, but don't go through it. It literally just brings you to the beginning of the engine room. Instead, you want to head through the door that opened. This is where the test of strength begins. Now, to begin this test, you interact with the Hive goop on the ground with a notification that pops up that says, prove your strength. Now, a bunch of knights and cursed thrall will appear, but don't worry about it. You don't have to kill them. They're literally going to be sitting on these small platforms, which are scattered throughout this area. This is a puzzle, guys. Now, the puzzle essentially wants you to kill the correct enemies, and there is a particular order here. If you kill the wrong enemy, you will die, and it will wipe the encounter, starting you over in this area. Now, to actually solve this puzzle, you first want to interact with the deep sign in the room. This will reveal footprints that lead to where the puzzle begins, which will be at this knight. Kill the knight that those steps lead to, and then proceed to follow the direction each platform is pointing at until you get to another enemy. So first, you're going to kill the knight, knight, his platform points in the direction of another knight, kill him, and then it'll be pointing to the next knight, which will be on the other side of the wall underneath the Shrieker. Now you'll notice that his platform points in the direction that leads into the next room. Now the platform it points to is to this cursed thrall here. Now this is where things change. Once you kill this cursed thrall, you want to continue following the path, but skipping an enemy from here on out. So for example, you kill the first cursed thrall here, then you skip the knight in front of you, but go where that plate tells you where to go, which will take you to this cursed thrall here. But after killing that cursed thrall, you then skip the next plate, but still go where it wants you to go, then kill the next target, then skip, and essentially guys, you're leapfrogging every other enemy until you reach the end. It's really not overly difficult, guys. Just make sure when you get to the cursed thrall portion here, it's every other enemy that you kill, starting with that first cursed thrall. Now, it's completely fine if you do wipe, and keep in mind, even if you wipe, you don't have to reactivate deep sight every single time. You can literally just go straight to the enemy that you have to kill. The deep sight is just there for you to show you where you need to start. Now, after doing this successfully, what are the rewards? For us guys, it was a seasonal weapon, 3 Witches Ingrams, an enhancement prism, and 2,500 glimmer. Now, no, the rewards aren't exactly crazy. And in comparison to the test of cunning, which was last week, the rewards are pretty much the exact same. Some Witches Ingrams, some glimmer, Jared got a Witch's Key, I got a single Witch's Key. I'm really curious to know if red borders do drop from this, but I haven't seen it yet. But each test does give you a triumph. Now, for those wondering, are these repeatable? From my experience, no. I didn't get any rewards besides XP. Now, the question that's coming up, what is this all leading to? One thing we can say for sure is that this season has had the most changes and the most secrets week to week than any season in the past. We first had the secret cards, hidden in Savathûn Spire, the Anthenium, and the Altars of Summoning. The secret chest within Savathûn Spire that altered for a few weeks, the Elemental Attunements, new cards showing up like this week, and now the Imbaru Engine, which looks like it's changing every week, or at least revealing more of itself to us. Now keep in mind, this is all part of Bungie's new seasonal hook, where they're doing things different outside of the norm when it comes to season stuff. Now on a thematic level, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, considering Savathûn is all about this is pretty much on brand for her. Now it does appear we do have one more test in regards to the Imbaru's engine, called the Test of Navigation. Now, whether this will open up the last door remaining within the engine or bring us up even further, we'll have to wait and see. We also have no idea what all this is really leading to. Will this engine be the location of the final mission for the season, or is this just a fun secret location Bungie added to spice things up for the last couple weeks? Now, lore-wise, the Imbaru Engine is Savathûn's reinterpretation of the sword logic, whereas the sword logic dictates the strongest survives, which is why the Hive go about the universe killing everything. Savathûn's version of this relies solely on cunning deeds versus pure strength. She created a way to source her ties directly from being cunning, lies, deceit, etc. And she's done all of that to us Guardians for years now, all fueling her power this entire time. This is how Savathûn has been feeding her worm. And we first heard about Imbaru way back in Forsaken through the lore. We got brand new lore this season via the seasonal machine gun, where it says, what is Imbaru? Even asking the question yields an ounce of tribute by itself. Failing to answer it yields more. It's impossible to engage the concept without falling into the web of cunning devised by the Witch Queen, even after her death. It's elegant and irritating. We are familiar with the sword logic, the need to endure and force the universe to endure you. It's a contest. When there is nothing left standing but you, then you've won. Your prize is existence. But Imbaru is tribute from the failure to understand. When Savathûn ensnared us with her cunning, she fed her worm. Every false step or mistake in our attempt to unravel Savathûn's plans gave her exactly what she wanted. Whenever someone believed a lie or doubted the truth, she became that much more powerful. So every lie, every secret, every mystery brought upon Savathûn has been feeding her power all this time. Actually, even thinking about the concept behind Imbaru becomes tribute, which is a vicious cycle. Myelin points out in this recent lore video going over Imbaru that we don't know where these ties are going because Savathûn is dead, and she's also not tied to her worm anymore. And yet, when you interact with the puzzles within the Imbaru engine, you'll see messages appear in the bottom left that says you strengthen Savathûn's Imbaru. Now, is this all going to be part of the process to resurrect her? Most likely. Well, guys, that is our guide for everything so far. Let me know in the comments below if we missed anything. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.